question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another AFR broadcast. Today we're here for round 11 at the Hockenheim Ring in Germany. As usual, I am Kunai Zero, and with me tonight is Red Panda.
Hello, guys.
Alright, so shouldn't be too far off starting the qualifying session. Just got a couple of housekeeping things to do in the lobby, and then they should get it all underway. Let's take a quick second to talk about the 2010 series races that were on Friday. That second session, though, do you see that finish?
No, I didn't actually.
You didn't see that finish? Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen the finish on that second race, please do us a favor. Jump on after this broadcast. Actually, sorry, after the Tier 2 broadcast. Jump on and watch the... You should watch the whole race, but if not, watch the final couple of laps of the second 25% race, the last race of that night. Potsy, and I think it was Potsy and Matoid, were drag racing to the line, and Potsy wins by the nose. Like, it is as close as I've ever seen in an AFR race. It was awesome. And then, technically, because of some, like, timing issue, Matoid won, but then Matoid was like, nah, he won fair and square. And so it was amended. But it was awesome, man.
It's just how the game can be. Sometimes you're a clear wing ahead, and then it gives the other person the benefit of the doubt.
But no, it was an awesome race. And hopefully we can replicate that tonight and moving forward here in Tier 1. It was so good. It was so neck and neck. And the weird thing was, it was the Ferrari and the Red Bull. And usually the Red Bull just completely outpaces, but man, Potsy had some speed on that thing, man. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Ferrari can be a bit skiddy, you could say. Just the RSN hangs out quite a lot, so well done to him.
Yeah, that was good. As for Tier 1, so we had an interesting race last week in Britain, in Silverstone. There were a ton of reviews done on both the Tier 1 and Tier 2, and we had a ruling come down. So Revo was the race winner, but due to a infringement under safety car regulations, he got pushed down 3 places, so which put him 4th. But then T-Mac had a bug, a timing bug, which was amended, which put him in 4th and pushed Revo down to 5th. So it is the lowest position that he's, I think, ever finished.
Yeah.
Actually finished. Like, he's had some retirements, but actually finished, 5th.
Yeah, it was a bit controversial, that one, you could say.
It was. I'm not too familiar with it all, but from what I understand, it was an incident that had been repeated in the past, which is why the penalty was delivered. It was a warning to begin with, and then apparently new evidence had surfaced, which showed the particular incident being repeated, and then due to the fact that it was repeated, a judgment was called down.
It was a very harsh penalty, and honestly, like, that's fair and square. But the fact is, I can see where the admins come from with handing the penalty, preventing future infringements like that from happening. But then again, Revo did hand those positions back, so that was where I was a bit confused, you could say.
So he handed the positions but one. I mean, according to the game, he handed them all back, but he didn't hand back the position to Flyboy, I believe it was. And that's where the admins were like, well...
that could be the case, but still very, very big penalty for that.
It's a massive penalty, and obviously it is designed as a deterrent. So if you are under safety car conditions, you stick to safety car conditions. You stay in the queue, and you wait until the lead driver has crossed. Actually, it's each individual driver if you read the 2019 regulations, but you wait till the lead driver crosses, and you are not allowed to overtake until you yourself cross that lead line. And then it's from race on. That is a 2019 change, funnily enough. It is specific to 2019, but it is a rule nonetheless.
The game does allow you to go ahead before you cross the line, but in interest of fairness and what the real F1 does, obviously you can't do it before the line.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so we are ready to rock and roll. I'll just have to make sure everything's set up, and we will switch over.
Point to note, the Mercedes, Racing Point and Williams Constructors battle has come down to 3 points for fifth. They're separated by 3 points, 3 teams.
Alright, so we'll see whether or not they can distance themselves from each other in this race. Did you say that was the combined constructors?
No, that was the
That's tier 1 constructors, no worries. Let's have a look here. Ooh. So we have a dry qualifying session, but we indeed have a wet race with apparently drying conditions at the end. Could we see a repeat of the real-world conditions that happened in 2019, which was arguably one of the best races ever held in F1 history.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time when watching that.
It was incredible. So many different things. And the one thing to take away from that race is that Hulkenberg had a podium on a platter and he still managed to balk it.
I was actively cheering Hulkenberg on.
I think everyone was.
It was just heartbreaking when he just came off onto that drag strip, which turned into an ice ring.
Yeah, that drag strip. I mean, when it was wet, man, that thing just... Yeah, exactly. Ice rink is a great way to put it. It turned into an absolute nightmare. And it was so weird. All the drivers were super confused. Do we go out on the inters? Do we stay on the medium tyre, the soft tyre? Verstappen decided to stay, ended up spinning, but caught the car. So, props to him. But, yes, an incredible race.
Did a full pirouette, kept going.
That's exactly right. All right. So, we are on board with the first driver to make it onto a flying lap. That is Flyboy in the Racing Point. We'll see how fast he can make his way around this track. Looking good so far as he makes his way down to the start of Sector 2. 15 minutes and 47 seconds left on that clock. Hopefully we'll have a good qualifying session. So hits the hairpin and then up through the gears. Now, if you run with no TC, that corner can really bite you because you have to try and modulate all of the revs, but if you do it too quickly, anyone that is behind you, especially coming out of that long DRS section, is just going to absolutely fly by you on that hairpin. So it's one of those corners where you want to keep your track position, but at the same time, you've got to modulate the traction that modulate the power that you're trying to put on the ground in order to keep yourself from spinning those rear tyres and losing absolutely everything.
Yeah, see, if someone gets a launch on you on the back, they'll just come right round you.
Alright, so Flyboy will come across the line and he'll set the first time a 1:11.5. So as it is, he will stay on pole, but not for long. Revo comes across with a 111.3 on the medium compound. Alright, Gus Rules there with a 113.3. He'll slot into third place.
It'll be very interesting what people qualify on, because under regular conditions in a dry race, it's a medium to hard. But because it's a wet race and we have rain, I wonder who will choose to go on the softs just for track position.
No, you would expect everyone to qualify on the softs. It's a free qualification. I mean,
so is there any dry match, or is it full wet?
As far as I'm aware, it is a completely wet race with a drying section at the end. But I don't know if that just means like less rain. I'm not sure. All they've told me is that it's going to be a dry qualification, but it's a fully wet race, drying at the end. I don't know if it's torrential rain, which would be wicked. But anyway, all right, so we've got a couple of more drivers. So Matoid came across there with a 111.4 on the soft tyre, slots him into second. His teammate, Seb, in the other Red Bull, 112.355. That's on the medium tyre. And then Greeny comes there with a 112.9, combined with a 112.976, but he's on the hard tyre. Smitty there in 7th or 8th now as, let's say, Flyboy resets himself up into 3rd there with a 111.5. And Potty shoots up there as well. No, sorry, Potty shot himself up with a 112. That forced everyone down. Lotus, 112.2. Shrimp gets up there, 112.8. Smitty in 10th now, 113.2. Gus Rules with a 113.3. And Apollo Pepsi, 113.8.
But he's on the hard tyre, so he will improve.
He's hoping. All right, let's jump on board with Mick Howe, one of the faster drivers in the Tier 1 circuit. Let's have a look. He will start his flying lap now. Now he's going to come around turn 1, one of these killer turns. You have to be millimeter perfect as you enter that corner, because if you go too far in at the first section, track limit. If you go too far out in the second section, track limit.
Not just that, if you absolutely send it, the rear just lets go completely.
Yeah, you'll end up floating completely off the track. So, but Mick does it almost to perfection here. Now in the DRS zone as he comes up to that hairpin, hard on the brakes, all the way down into first gear as he hit that apex, and then of course up through the gears again. Oh, gets a little bit on the red line there as T-Mac moves out of the way. So we'll see where Mick can sit himself. A couple more drivers go past. Looks like Wahid there with a 112.8. T-Mac with a 112.3. That is a great drive there from the Williams. Oh, as Mick goes out wide, but it doesn't look like he invalidated. Has a purple second sector there. Very lucky. Final couple of corners now. Down to 4th, holding the revs there. Nice and smooth. Upshift, hits a DRS, and he'll come across with a 112.2. That'll sit him into 6th so far. As we switch over to Bandcamp, currently on his outlap, one of 3 drivers yet to set the time.
And very unlucky last week. You'd definitely be hoping for a bit of redemption.
Definitely unlucky. And it's one of those, that was another weird call. Initially, a warning was given for not leaving space, but then it was appealed, it was reviewed, and ultimately decided to invalidate that warning, and it just kept on as a racing incident. So it put Band in a very bad position, so hopefully he'll have a better run of luck here in Germany. So he starts his flying lap, and you can see his teammates in front of him. Is there going to be a cheeky toe? Yes, there is, and that is how you maximise the potential.
I love seeing this, teammates working together.
There you go. So that is going to put him, you can see he went up to 336 Ks. That definitely gives you, even if it's in the tenths matter. And as one of only 2 drivers yet to polish a lap, hopefully this will mean Bandcamp will get himself in the top half of that grid. As we see Geordie set a lap there, 112.3, currently sitting dead smack bang in the middle.
Band's gone purple, middle sector.
Alright, so
That toe definitely helped.
here comes the Renault, rounding the last sector of the course. You see a little bit of a lock up there on that front right. Hopefully it doesn't cost him too much time there as he comes out. We're looking at a 111 low, 111.4. That'll set him into third place so far. That toe definitely helped him.
Now we know that people have to pick up on that. The toe's really strong.
Alright, we'll see if any other team decides to follow suit. Revo and Band do definitely help each other a lot. For example, Revo in the last race.
And they're doing
down.
it again, but swapping. Band's giving Revo a toe now.
Very, very clever. Right, we'll see what Revo can do. Keep an eye on that time as we're on board with Seb, who's looking to improve on that 112.3 that he said earlier. Just coming around. Final set of corners now to start his flying lap. He's gone straight off the corner there, so nice traction. Now you can push very, very far into that final apex. You can put your wheel pretty much all on the green. Oh, nice balance there as he comes around turn one. And hard on the brakes down to about third, second as he hit the apex, trying to kick the car in to give you a straighter.
Revo's about to come across the line. He was a 10th up.
111.2, so he does improve there as Seb is 4/10 up on his time right now as he moves into sector 2. And Revo deciding to stay on that medium tyre. As Potsy sets the fastest lap now, 110.9.
Oh, 110's really good though.
And
that's rapid.
And Seb is 9/10 faster than his previous lap right now. Let's see where he's going to end up. The Ferrari won't get in his way. It's a little too far ahead. Oh, he goes out wide, but it doesn't look like it's invalidated. How much speed can he carry? It's in the 110s. Oh, just misses out. A 111.097. And that'll set him into second.
I think Revo was just gauging his opponents on the mediums. He's going to come in, chuck the softs on, and
for sure,
run away with it.
For sure.
That's my guess.
All right. So we got a
but
couple
this
of
is Formula One. Things can happen.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out from Scottsdale, Arizona. Oh, damn. Hello to you too, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Oh no, and Geordie has validated his lap already, so that'll go out. Let's jump up a couple with T-Mac. So set a solid time before, a 112.0, now forced down to 11 as everyone else has updated their times. So he'll be looking to improve in the Williams. Is Revo winning the championship? He certainly is. By about 50 points, I think. Alright, so 6 minutes and 26 seconds left on the clock, which will be more than enough time for our drivers to get a couple of laps in. So still on board with T-Mac, waiting for him to finish up that out lap, and he'll start his flying lap and see if he can improve himself from 13 currently. So everyone's done some pretty solid times, but as the track gets more rubber and the cars get faster, obviously you get forced down. So here comes T-Mac on his flying lap now. Does he now turn one? No. Invalidated. Oh, that's unfortunate.
There needs to be a compilation made after this race of just people invalidating turn
I'm sure
one.
we can set that up. I'm sure we can get that. Alright, so we will switch to Revo, who is currently sitting third, but as you can see there on the cameras, he does have those soft shoes bolted on, so without a shadow of a doubt, he is going to set a blistering time around the Hockenheim ring. We will be on board for the entire thing so that you can watch from home.
Now, will Ban choose to exit the pits and tow him?
It's too late. Way too late.
Oh, yeah.
Way too late. So Revo will do this all on his own, or if he can catch another car on the circuit. Let's have a look. He'll cross the line, and that's his flying lap started. So, just off the gas, you can see that's how you do that corner. You use all that you can on the inside and all that you can on the outside. No invalidation. It's the fastest way around, and it will show as he moves his way through Sector 1, and he is already 2/10 up on his time from his last go-round, sorry. Oh, you can see massive cutback on those gears. Absolutely using all of the engine braking available to slow him up before that, which allows you to brake later into that corner, so you carry more speed. So Revo makes his way now through Sector 2. And you can see very short shifts. It's Revo's style of driving, and it's just to solidify the traction, to put that power on the ground, so he can use as much throttle as possible without losing traction. As he comes now through the last sector of the course, and it's probably going to be a blistering time. What do you reckon? I'm thinking it's going to be in the 1:10.6 maybe?
I reckon a 5.
1:10.5. Let's have a look. He hits a DRS section. He's going to cross the line. It's pretty much a 1:10.5. A 1:10.496 or 5. 495. Ooh, God.
That's mind-blowingly
That's
fast.
so quick. That is so quick. Reba. I reckon we should go buy like a Radio Shack 8-way joystick from like 1997, and he has to use that for one race. Because goddamn, man, he's just so fast. He's so fast. He's so fast.
It's rapid. It's robotic, honestly.
Well, I mean, like, I keep droning on and on and on about it every week, but he puts in the time. That's what you get. If you want to study and you put in the time, that's what you get. And Revo has done that essentially more than anyone else here. So, all right, so now we're on board with Wahid, who all this week has been putting in solid times in practice. Let's have a look and see if he can put that onto the track now. Has already gone around with a 1:11.6, currently sitting 9th. Let's see if he can improve at all as he makes his way through the end of Sector 1. Oh, he's pulled out of that one for sure. Something's not right there. I hope you're looking to reset. Who else is
It wasn't an invalidation. Not sure what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't invalidate. He set the turn 1 fine, but he decided to pull out. So we'll jump on board with Matzoid, who makes that first corner nicely. Matzoid currently sitting 5th with a 1:11.3. Oh, T-Mac! No, it looks like T-Mac got out of the way just in time. And have a look here. The Red Bulls are going to copy the Renault strategy. Seb is in front, and Matzoid is picking up a massive toe doing it. Great teamwork there. Let's have a look how much it will affect him. Yes, Pencil, it is a wet race. So 1 minute and 25 seconds left on that clock. Everyone's going to have to start the times from now. Otherwise you're going to miss out on that final lap.
That's 2/10 up.
It's a pretty quick lap so far. Let's see how he can finish it. Down to 4th. Using all of the track available. Up through the gears. We're looking at a low 1:11. Oh, a 1:10.9. That's put him in 2nd.
Let's put him on the front row.
Wow. Great job there from Matzoid. Puts the Red Bull on that 2nd slot.
He's going to give his teammate a toe, but
It does look that way, so let's jump back. Let's have a look at what Seb can do now that he'll have the toe. Ooh, don't go too far away. Alright, what's the top of this car? Only up to 331, so there's some kph missing there.
yeah, Matt simply just wasn't close enough.
It's alright, we'll see if Seb can bring anything back from it. Currently sitting 4th, 1:11.09. Nice use of the inside there. And he is 1/10, almost 2/10 faster already. This is looking good for the Red Bulls. They might take second and third. We have 3 cars already finished. Geordie, Shrimp, and Combined. Oh, Seb goes out very wide, but it looks like it's still okay. Oh, 111.019. It's an improvement, but not enough. He will stay 4th. Looks like Mikau hasn't validated.
Geordie comes lost across the line to put him in 6th.
Alright, so Revo, it's a fair chance he's taken this pole, 110.49. Potsy is currently 2nd, 110.7. Great improvement from the McLaren. He'll take the 2nd spot.
Mikau was up, but he just... The last 2 corners just got shaken up.
Alright, so Matzoid in 3rd. So the Red Bulls will take the 2nd row on the grid. Flyboy in the Racing Point in 5th. Geordie in 6th. Mikau will come across 7th. Wahid in 8th. Major Payne in 9th. So not a bad set from everyone here. So Revo, pole position, as per usual, I guess. Potsy, great drive, 110.7. Red Bulls in the 2nd slot of the grid. See, Flyboy, Geordie, Mikau, Wahid, Major Payne, and Shrimp will round out 10th place in the Alfa Romeo Bandcamp, just falling under. Hopefully he'll be able to jump some spots during the race. Polo Pepsi in the other Racing Point in 12th. Combined in 13th. Greenie in 14th. Jacob Meister 15th. T-Mac all the way down near the bottom in 16th. At least the Williams will start next to each other.
Yeah, the Williams and the Toro Rosso's just not showing up, really. Toro Rosso's both 19th and 20th.
Alright, and there you are. The rain and the clouds here at Germany. So this will be a very interesting race. Now, of course, with wet races, your strategy has to change. For example, you don't need to pit. Do you need to? No, you don't need to do a regulation pit change.
No, I think it's still one mandatory, but you have to pit anyway.
Oh no, it's mandatory, but you don't have to change your tire. That's right. You still have to pit, but you don't have to change your tire compound because pretty much it's just wets and enters.
Yeah.
But it also this also changes up how you set up your car, because you tend to want more downforce in the wet, which will give you obviously more drag, which gives you extra braking, which is what you need when there's water all over the course. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
You also want a bit more ride height too.
Mm-hmm.
And this track, it's very low ride height normally, so.
Alright, so drivers are off on their formation lap.
Looks like it's the Inters. It's not for wet.
Let's finish setting up this. Alright, so it is the Inters. So it isn't heavy rain. It's just a bit of light rain that's sustained, and then hopefully, according to the forecast, it should dry out towards the end. But will it dry out enough for drivers to chuck on dry tyres? We will find out as Revo leads the pack. Everyone trying to get as much warmth into their tyres as possible. Try to maximise the grip that they can obtain from the car. The other thing too, it's so hellish to follow people in the wet. Like, the mist is just ridiculous.
Oh, especially if you're in the middle of all of it.
Yeah.
Multiple cars in front, multiple behind. You can't see anything.
And if you drive cockpit.
Like me.
You drive cockpit, it's... God,
yeah, I can tell you first. I can tell you first, and it's hell. You can't see anything.
Might just, while we're on this, let me just try this out. Let's see if this is working now. Don't think so. Awesome. No. Oh, no. Alright, so I'm going to have to look at that. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have a working replay. I don't know why. It works week in, week. It doesn't work the next week. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so you can see a couple of cars there. There's a Ferrari and a Toro Rosso. So obviously they were involved in a collision, so they'll have to start on cold tyres. Alright, so as we wait for the last couple of drives to form up on the grid, so we can get this show on the road. 34 laps here in Germany. You can hear the engines revving, which means they're ready to go. Now we've just got to wait for those 5 red lights to tick off and we'll be off. And there we are. Everybody is away. You can see that the start is a lot slower due to the wet. But Revo gets a decent launch off. So does Potsy. But Matzoid is already up alongside. A couple of people going out wide. But so far, no incidents. About 9th here with Major Payne in the Haas. Everybody's making their way through the next turn. And it's fairly clean so far. This is good. Nice and hopeful. As you can see, the Alpha is going up side by side. As Matzoid looks to make a poke here on Geordie. Oh, and have a look at the Haas! Mikau comes into the fray as well. So Matzoid gets out in front. Geordie goes up alongside. And Mikau right up the back. Oh, God, a little bit of contact there between Mikau and Matzoid, but no damage. That's going to force a Red Bull behind. He's got no choice. On board now with Matzoid, currently 6th. And you can see just how crazy it is on that camera. Water everywhere makes it hard to see. Of course, Formula 1 cars, no brake lights. So all you've got is the charging indicator of the ERS to help you guide where exactly that car is. As Revo sets the fastest lap, of course, being in the lead.
Geordie's going to have a run here down the straight on Seb.
Yep, so Geordie's going to look to try and go up on that outside line. You can see the wheel of Seb just off to the right there. Who's going to have the better brake zone? Seb's going to be on the inside. Who's going to get the better traction though? Still side by side. And Mikau's waiting. Still side by side as they move through. Oh, a little bit of slide there. That's going to cause Geordie some instability. Yep, and he'll fall back behind. Mikau's now going to look for a chance.
Great racing that.
Yeah. Pushing the car to the absolute limit. That's what you want to see. But Seb comes out on top there, stays 3rd. Geordie in 4th. Mikau close behind in 5th. As Revo makes his way around the final corner, he will trigger lap 3. But unfortunately, due to wet race, no DRS. So it's going to be down to the toe for a lot of these drivers. As Mikau has made a move on Matzoid. Oh, sorry. That was already done. I thought it was the other Red Bull. My mistake. It's just Mikau looking to jump up here on the DRS section. Of course, it's not enabled, so let's see how much speed he can gain from the...
He's closing in.
Look at that cone. Absolutely crazy. Now he's going to look to try and brake later. Seb has all of the track position in front. But now it's up to Mikau and Geordie. Who's going to get the drag race? It looks like Mikau gets a much better plant. And he'll make that move. Great move into 4th. Oh, but Geordie's keen. Goes out a little bit wide though. Tries to push. Didn't end up working, and that's going to cost him. That's going to drop down all the way down to almost a second back. That might allow Matzoid to get back in the fray. So we keep an eye on a lot of these drivers. All the gaps are very, very close. Revo's already got a 3.2 second lead. Potsy's got a 2.3 second gap in front of Seb there. As Lotus and T-Mac trade places.
Closest battle now is the battle for third.
Yes, Mikau awfully close. And he will gain. Let's jump up one. On board with Geordie. Currently sitting 5th.
Combined might be able to go for shrimp here.
Combined is looking. He'll try and look on that inside, but realises that he's run out of tarmac. Oh, but Shrimp goes out massively wide. Oh, wow.
It's going to be a drag race.
Oh, it's going to be very, very close there on the tyres, but Combined decides to play the safe game. So he'll pull back. Oh, but Shrimp slides a little bit there. That's going to cost him time. So all of this is allowing Combined to catch up. This turn usually taken flat out in 6th, but in the wet. Oof. Oh, it looks like T-Mac had a bit of a disconnect. He's now rejoined. So far, all of these gaps, all under 1 second. It's nice to see. I wonder who will be the first victim of turn 1. Ooh, Lotus is a 3-second time penalty there, multiple warnings.
Well, it was Valtteri Bottas last year in the real F1.
Yeah, that was a heavy accident too, Jesus. Alright, so Combined will look to make the overtake on Shrimp now. He's got much more room. Will he go left? Will he go right? Shrimp decides to take the inside line into the hairpin. Combined will look to make the most of the outside grip. You can see the car sliding a little bit, but he cuts in front of Shrimp, and he will take that position. So Combined now in 11th. The Alpha back down to 12th.
Mikau right on Seb's gearbox now.
Let's jump back up to there. You can see Haas following behind. 0.2 the gap. Doing everything he can to stay within contention. The rain smashing off the carbon fibre of the car. There we go. So Mikau now in a pretty good spot to try and jump as they come out of Sector 1. Keeping an eye on these times. Bandcamp's looking to make a move on Wahid, it seems. But it doesn't look like he makes it work. No, falls behind. As Mikau now is looking to make a move on Seb. Similar decision to make, but it looks like Mikau's going to stay on the outside. Seb's going to protect the left. So Mikau's looking for that inside cut. Oh! The tyres touch. And that's going to force Seb off the track. So Mikau makes it work though. Up into 3rd. Bandcamp's trying his best to jump Wahid, but Wahid keeps telling him no. You can see the speed difference. Bandcamp is definitely punching harder. But with all of this rain, there are only a select few places on the track you can make your move. So he's just got to be patient and bide his time. Lap 7 of 34. We still have much of the race to go. And as it stands, Revo is still your leader. A 4.5 second gap to 2nd place.
Seb falling back a bit from Mikau into Geordie. Seems like Mikau's got the edge in the corners, but when he gets to straight, Seb's just a rocket ship.
Seb tends to run lower downforce. So he's very, very quick on straights. We saw that people have a hard time. It was Austria, I believe, where Flyboy just could not catch him on the straights every single time.
He does, like when he was keeping Mikau behind, he kept very well to keep Mikau behind Sector 1 and 2, at least 5/10s. But when it got to Sector 3, he was nowhere.
So Bandcamp still trying to catch up to Wahid, but the gap has increased. It's now up to 0.5. So while that's happening, let's jump down a couple of positions. Jacob Meister in the Williams, who's looking to try and overtake Smitty in the Toro Rosso. Now these guys are hellishly close, all the way from 13th to 15th. So much water. You can see Gus Rules just behind them as well. It's interesting to see 8 laps and we've had no major incidents, so this is good.
No, everyone's still in it.
Do you think we will see a safety car this race?
Oh, it's rain, anything can happen, but I reckon, yeah, we'll see at least one.
See at least one? Alright, let's see what happens.
From a turn 1 victim, I'm calling it.
Turn 1 victim, yeah, fair enough. As these tyres wear out.
It's a massive train from 12th to 15th.
Yeah, and even just a bit further than that, it's 1.5 to Shrimp from Smitty. So that could definitely close. As Jacob's looking to make a move, possibly he goes up. No, he peaks, but decides against it. Oh, a little bit of a bump there, telling Smitty, hey, I'm right behind you. Get out of the way.
Smitty very slow through that corner.
But even Smitty's looking to make a move up on Shrimp. But again, in the rain, you've got very limited options on this track. Oh, you can see Lotus in the back there going a little wide. As far as the leaders are concerned, Seb's now made, Geordie's maintained the gap between himself and Seb, 0.7 there, but Mikau is 1.6 seconds away.
Yeah, Seb seems to be struggling a bit.
Oh, you can see how slow these guys have to make their way around turn 1. The car does not want to stay on that track.
Combine's probably going to push this straight on Ban.
Keep an eye on that time. Smitty's going to look to make a move on Shrimp as well. We'll see how much time they can gain. So Combine still maintaining that 3.3.
Ban goes defensive.
Gets awfully close. So Band will shut him out. Combine's still in 11th. And no change behind them either. However, Jacob Meister is closer. Was down to the 0.3. Oh, T-Mac has joined again. Jeez, he must be... At this point, you'd think it would be Seb that'd be disconnecting, but instead it's T-Mac.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an interesting one.
T-Mac's not known for disconnecting mid-race, so...
No. So that's why I'm just like, what? What's going on? It's definitely cutting into his time, though. Down all the way in 17th. Right, so Combined closest on track. Let's see. Will he be able to make a move on Band? Band was so close to Wahid at one point, but it looks like Wahid's keeping him at bay. That just goes to show you the speed I was talking about. Even in the wet, Wahid can make it work in his favour.
Oh, there's a Sector 3 yellow flag. It's T-Mac.
So T-Mac is off the course. That's going to drop him down all into 19th. But it's a fairly clean, so he should be able to get back on track. Yellow flags stopped waving and we're back on. There it is, green, ready to go.
He's escaped damage, so he did well there.
Alright, Combined. What can he do? Still too far away to make an attack. He is looking to try and get the smoother line through the hairpin. But it is very hard. You can see how much traction loss he's suffering with Bandcamp rockets past. Or away, I should say.
Yeah, he tries to go for the switchback, but in the wet, you have to practically be alongside to get it working. Or Ban has a bit of a moment.
So that's just going to allow Combine to get even closer. You can see how close on the cameras there. They get a little bit drifty. As long as he can maintain that gap, there's a good chance he can try and make the jump as we hit lap 11. Sorry. Smitty still trying to jump Shrimp at the back there as well. Having a bit of trouble doing so. Oh, you can see. All right, so Bandcamp's getting a little bit loose in the rear. Let's have a look here. On board, turn 1. That's pretty good. All right, so maybe it was just a little bit too gung-ho as they came out of the last corner. So this will be up to Combined. Can he get the toe? Oh, this is looking a lot more promising than the last couple of times. Polo Pepsi gets a time penalty at the back. Now he's just got to try and brake later. Will Combine make the move? He's up on the outside, but I think Ban's going to shut him out.
Ban leaves him a bit of room.
But looks like Ban's got a much better exit. And he still stays. Woo! This McLaren is fighting. Oh, even late break.
Smitty and Shrimp going at it.
So looks like Shrimp gets past. And have a look, Jacob Meister's all up in this as well. No, Shrimp's now in front. They're side by side as they move through into the last sector. Even Gus Rules is in on this.
Oh, Gus gets hit.
2 battles happening at the same time, and they're all next to each other. Gus is looking to make the move on the outside. Smitty makes the move as well. So Smitty takes 12th, Shrimp takes 13th, and Gus Rules and all that carnage. Oh, but he gets forced out. And Jacob Meister takes the position back again. But hold on. Oh, Jesus. Gus Rules is now trying desperately to keep on track. Okay, that was an intense 20 seconds as Jacob Meister gets shot off the course. That's going to allow Gus Rules to come back.
But Shrimp had an absolute run on Smitty. Gets ahead of him.
That was a really good battle from all 4 drivers. Smitty ends up losing that particular battle, so Shrimp goes ahead.
The battle's going to continue as Jacob is coming up on Smitty.
Alright, so the Williams decides to go up on the inside. Let's see, will it work in his favour? It's going to be a little bit of a shutout. Oh, he gets a really bad exit there, so much so that Gus Rules might creep up onto the back. It's really good to see drivers who aren't afraid to give it all.
Oh, Gus with a massive drift.
Jacob is honestly trying everything to get past this Toro Rosso. You've got to be really careful too, because the dirty air makes it harder to maintain your brake distance. And if you hit the back of one of these cars, there's a good to fair chance you lose your wing. And if you lose your wing in a wet race, oof.
Race over, basically.
Unless you can make it to the pits. Alright, so Gus is dropping back a little bit. He might be having some grip issues. We'll see what happens as they come into the next sector. On board with Gus now. You can see that distance. He was so close at one stage. The distance is growing. Not sure what's happening there as Nut picks up a 3-second time penalty at the back. Alright, now Gus Rules is doing better to maintain this time. Shrimp goes out a little bit wide. So does Jacob Meister. This might allow Smitty and Gus to make their move. Gaps maintained. Oh, but Jacob Meister calculates that corner wrong. And the Ferrari will easily take his place. Gus Rules up to 14th now. might jump up a couple of positions where Flyboy is looking to... Oh, hold on! Smitty's retired from the session.
Smitty is out of the race. It's
Of
a safety
course.
car. Safety car deployed.
Of course it was when I changed the camera.
He's a victim of turn
Oh,
one.
come on!
I was right. I was correct.
Come on. Okay. Okay. Alright, so that is our first safety car on lap 14. It looks like Smitty bit into turn one, but the turn bit back harder. He is out. We are down one driver, so 19 drivers left on this course. And the safety car now means that everyone's going to get bunched up.
People are chucking on slicks.
Are they really?
Nut and T-Mac are going on slicks.
So Nut and T-Mac, medium and hard tyre respectively. Could this mean that the rain is coming to an end? Let's jump on board.
Not sure. Revo's in the pits.
Well, I have to admit, there is no more rainfall. It is all down to...
Revo puts on the white stripe hards.
Alright. Everybody's coming through. Looks like Shrimp picked up a drive-through... Ooh. Shrimp picked up a drive-through penalty?
Absolutely
Oh,
everyone.
Lotus as well. Oh my god, 2 people speeding under safety car.
Wahid Band and Combined decide to continue on. Same as Shrimp and Gus.
Alright, so we're seeing a difference of opinion here. Let's see who comes out on top. So there is no more rainfall. It is all down to the water on the track. Revo pitted onto hard tyres. Potsy and Mikau both onto mediums. Seb's still on the hard. So is Matzoid. Nut and T-Mac, medium and hard respectively. Everyone else is still on that intermediate tyre.
Flyboy and Major Payne put on fresh inters. Same as Geordie.
Okay, so we have a couple of people who think that it's still too wet to switch.
And Greenie.
Yeah, so some people still think that it's too wet to switch. Others think that it's enough. Oh, this could be a massive repeat of the real-life Germany.
It might be too early now, but by the time the safety car comes in, it might be just right.
Well, if you have a look at these guys driving, there is a decent amount of water coming off those tyres. Now, it is under safety car conditions, so I can't imagine they'd have too much difficulty driving around. But once they get going, I mean... Geordie pits. Have a look. Geordie's in the pits. Bandcamp combined and Geordie. So Geordie went out on fresh inters, but I think he's decided to change. Oh no, Flyboy, 5-second penalty for colliding with Gus Rules under safety car. A lot of people getting caught out by that.
Oh, it's very slippery on this for the slick runners at the moment.
Geordie switched to the hard tyre, so was combined. Bandcamp onto the medium. So the majority of the grid have decided that dry tyres are the way to go. Board with Revo here, leading the pack. Potsy close behind, and Mick out. So of course with the safety car, everyone's gaps have now been compressed. So it's going to be absolutely full on as soon as that safety car pulls in.
I'm not sure what Wahid is thinking here. He's in fourth, so he has track position. But his rears are at 50% on inters.
Yeah, unless he decides to pit now, but he's going to lose so much.
Shrimp is on 70% rear wear. Almost 70.
So will Wahid pit in while the safety car is still out? Or does he decide to stay on those inters? I will admit, you see less and less water being sprayed up. This track could be... could possibly be dried out. Let's see. No, Wahid stays.
Same as Gus and Shrimp.
Flyboy does pit, however. So fair chance he'll be switching over to a dry tyre. Yep, Flyboy switches onto the hard. There's T-Mac and Nut trying to catch up to this queue. So, judging by distance, I'd say the safety car would be in this lap.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
We are at the halfway point now. As Murray Walker would say, with half the race done, there is half the race left to go.
Great Murray Walker.
See, I can't imagine anyone but him making those jokes too. It's so good.
Nah, if Crofty tried it, it'd just come out as really dry and cringy.
Don't get me wrong, I love Crofty, but goddamn, Murray Walker was a great. Alright, so the safety car is in this lap. You can see the lights have stopped flashing, so it's up to Revo to kick off this absolute circus. See what he does. I might jump down. Let's jump down a couple of positions. Let's go to Seb. He's got caught up by Wahid there. It looks like Revo has decided. No, he's still going fairly slow. Probably going to absolutely gun it on that last bit. And there it is. Potsy is awfully close. And the race has officially restarted. Everyone back up to race pace. Let's see what happens. Oh, Shrimp and Gus Rules decide to pit now. And Greenie. Matt Zoid with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As you can see, there is still water coming off these tyres. But I don't see any major slides happening from any of the dry users, so...
Yeah, well, he's keeping up with Mikkel.
He is, if not catching.
And Major's going to make a move on Matzoid here.
Will he have the inside line? He goes around. Matzoid on the hard tyre. Oh, major pain. Look at him go! So there is definitely still water on this track. And the Inters, at least for now, are definitely the faster tyre.
It's in that grey area where the Inters suffer in some areas, but the Slicks also suffer in some areas too.
Have a look at the back here. Nut side by side with Lotus, but he makes the move up into 13th.
Oh, T-Max off into the gravel.
Yeah, you just saw him on the camera there. Couldn't quite slow up the car. It's going to cost him a couple of positions. He rejoins behind Shrimp. Have a look at Seb now. Catching up to Wahid. So it looks like that... Ooh, does he attack on this inside? There's contact between the fronts, but no damage. Seb keen to make that move, but now he'll just get it on the straight. Well, the curve. Elongated curve.
Oh, side by side down.
Oh, so much more speed here from Seb. Oh, Jesus! Major pain! Forgot where that left pedal was for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, and it's going to cost him. Yes, he's lost that end plate. Oh, this is not the track you want to do that on.
Just careens us out of Wahid.
Yeah, wow, Wahid lucky to get away with that unscathed. Stays fifth. He has dropped to 2 seconds though, so Seb is now very much away. This Bandcamp's trying to catch up to Major Payne after that mistake. Matzoid and Combined also close behind. Oh, Bandcamp goes as Major Payne spins. And DRS gets enabled.
Ooh, he's got to be careful not to be taken out.
All the way down to 15th. So Wahid pulls into the pits. And with DRS enabled, that tells us It's definitely dry tyre season. Everyone is now away. Let's jump up a couple of more positions. Mikau is looking to make a move on Potsy. Maxing out the car. Have a listen to that red line.
Oh, Potsy fights back. Will he get the switchback?
Oh, a little bit of drifting there. Couldn't quite get the power down. Mikau's going to absolutely take that. We'll jump back a couple of positions there. There's Jacob Meister and Geordie having a little bit of a tiff. Combined close behind. So is Apollo. This could be quite a crazy train, as it were. A bit of a reference. It's Apollo still trying to make it past Combined. And he does. Great job there. But can he keep it inside the corner? And he does. Keeps it nice and planted. Up into 8th position. Ooh, Revo set the fastest time, but Mikau very shortly broke it. 121.
Mikau is on the softer tyre of the two of them. And he's closing.
Will that softer tyre last the rest of this race? That will be the bet Mikau's looking to make. That means it's got to last 13 laps. Sorry, he's 6 laps away, so it's closer to 20 laps. Of wear on mediums, that's going to be a lot of performance lost as Apollo makes the move on Geordie very easily. Jacob makes the move on Bandcamp. They're still technically side by side.
Oh, Ben coming around the outside.
Geordie had a much worse launch there. Look at this. Drag racing into the next. Space kept. But Bandcamp ultimately concedes. Drops down to 6th. Jacob Meister will keep the position. But I can't imagine Band's too happy with that. So we'll be seeing this Renault attack very, very shortly. Have a look at that ERS meter. It's completely full. So Band is equipped for a fight. Mikau sets yet another fastest lap, 120.5.
He's 5/10 within Revo now. Oh, but he goes wide at 1, so he loses a bit of time.
So many gaps to keep an eye on. Flyboy picks up a 3-second time penalty. So it'll be up to Bandcamp to try and jump Jacob Meister here. Oh, Jacob got a really good exit out of that corner. My God. 0.8 the gap now. It looks like Apollo's going to have the jump chance. Will the Racing Point make this move? Probably not. Get stuck up on the outside. He'll stay 7th, but he is close. However, I'm not sure what happened there, but Jacob Meister absolutely exploded out of the end of Sector 1.
Revo's trying to use his ERS to pull away from Mikau, but in the DRS, Mikau's just saving up everything.
Mikau is looking to try and make an easy jump, because if he stays behind too long, he's going to have more wear on those mediums, and that's not where he wants to be. He wants to try and ride these all the way to the end. Oh, Revo breaking the lap record now. 1:19.7.
Ooh, Mikau's tyres are hot. He's skating a lot more now.
Yeah, and that is the risk associated with that choice.
He's going to have to pull back. He's going to have to hold position, cool his tyres, and then make an attack a bit later.
Oh, Wahid now with the fastest lap, 1:19.6 from the Mercedes. Alright, so back again on board with Apollo, and look at the speed difference here. Bandcamp can try to weave all he wants, but he's not blocking this one. As the Pink Panther decides to go up on the outside, now he's in a better chance to make this overtake. Oh, but Band just shuts the door again. Great driving from Bandcamp.
Not in combined side by side. Ooh, combined yields it.
Nut picks up a 3-second time penalty. lap 23 of 34. 24 of 34, sorry, as Revo sets the fastest lap crossing the line with a 1:18.9. So 10 laps to go here in this race. And Apollo is desperately trying to hold on to this gap. He wants to make the move on the Renault. He's got the DRS to do it, as Bandcamp is now outside that 1 second mark. So this is the chance. As Apollo Pepsi picks up a 3 second time penalty.
Both runners are under threat. Mikkel's closing in the DRS. Down to the hairpin.
Mikkel probably won't make that move. He knows that it's
Revo
safe to
goes
stay
deep.
behind.
Revo goes deep.
He still maintains the gap. Mikkel still waiting as Apollo Pepsi now looks to make the move on the outside, and he does. Bandcamp slots right behind. So Apollo now in 6th place. Combined jumps nut there in the back for 9th.
Revo's skating around, actually.
Might have to go up to that leader battle. Oof. So the gears on Mikkel's car are completely broken at the moment. I'll have to watch from afar. So Revo comes round. Final corner. Triggers 25. There you go. Mikkel 1:18.6. Oh, Potsy straight after 1:18.612. These top 3 guys are pushing it.
Into the DRS they go.
Oh, that car sounds horrid. Wahid is definitely pushing it at the back there. Jesus. So it's the fastest lap again, 1:18.029. I don't know what's worse, Mikkel's engine sounds or the puns being made in this chat. Alright, we'll have to keep an eye on that, but let's jump back to Combined, who's looking to make a move. Oh, and Nut can't make the braking zone. He goes out wide, loses 2 positions for his trouble. And now Combined's looking to make a jump on the Pink Panther. Oh, geez, is he going to do it here? No. Sides against it. Yet another break, 1:17.4. So let's have a look at these gaps. Mikkel only 0.6 away. Apollo Pepsi's 0.7. Bandcamp within that 1 second now.
Into the DRS they go. Mikkel's gaining very fast. Revo goes defensive. Mikkel on the outside. Both braking very deep.
So Mikkel looks to try and get the switchback. It doesn't quite work. Revo's still out in front. All of this battling is going to wear away at those tyres like crazy. Mikkel is going to be on barely nothing.
Unless Revo makes a mistake, he's going to have to hold for another lap until they get to that hairpin again.
So Combined makes the move on Flyboy there for 9th. Gus Rules makes the move on Wahid for 12th. Nut picks up yet another 3 second time penalty. And Shrimp. Jesus, man, so many penalties.
Revo is pushing like crazy to get ahead away from Mikkel.
Mikkel just can't. Oh, he has to cut in deep to avoid the back.
Oh, it loses a bit of time by doing that.
So Potsy 4.7 seconds away from Mikkel there. Seb the same.
Revo's going to start thinking about his ERS a bit. He's on 30% and he's using an absolute boatload on the straights. Miko can just hold in the DRS and save all he wants.
I think Revo's game plan is to try and wear away Mikau's tyres, so that by the time it comes down to the last couple of laps or so, it's just not going to matter. Revo does set the fastest time. They're 1:16.65.
Might be the same for Miko trying to wear Revo's ERS down.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good fight happening. But as it stands, Mikau cannot seem to translate it. Always staying behind. Have a look now. You can see them on that track map. You can see the interval. It's nowhere near close. As Apollo looks to jump Jacob Meister. Hard on the brakes now. And Jacob Meister forced to let him through. That is a really good position there from Apollo Pepsi. He placed his car exactly where it needed to be. Jacob Meister had no choice but to stay on that outside. And Apollo now 5th. So we've combined now here at the back, trying to chase up Flyboy. Now, as we move along, take note, Revo is setting faster and faster laps. Mikau cannot keep up. And Mikau's already at 1 second gap, so he's lost the DRS.
Yeah, he lost DRS.
And that might be the end of it. That might be the nail in the coffin there. Lap 29 to 34, so 5 laps to go. And it looks like here's where the situation changes. Revo's hards are going to maintain that performance, whereas Mikau's going to start feeling serious grip loss on those medium tyre. Zudix, good evening. Just quick recap if possible. It was raining, shit was cray. Mikau was about to overtake Revo, and now that's not happening. Oh, and Smitty punted it out of turn 1. Caused the safety car. Is currently the only DNF. Penalties? Way too many for me to list. Way too many.
I'll have a look at that.
Way too many.
Okay, I've been holding the button for a good 5 seconds now. Revo actually has a warning.
Oh, can you imagine if Revo gets a corner cutting penalty and Mikau wins by default?
Oh, that would be... Revo's on 2 warnings.
Is he really? Oh, here we go. 4 laps to go. Does Mikau have any penalties?
I'll have a look. 1 warning.
Oh, okay. Have a look here, combined. We'll go up on the outside. Flyboy's hoping to keep that inside line. But it looks like combined got a better exit. Oh, no. Flyboy keeps the position. Well, Ruse, Revo was actually invited to participate in this year's, which obviously won't be going ahead
Revo's
now.
3-second penalty.
Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry to cut that, but Revo has hit a 3-second penalty. All Mikau now has to do is keep his nose clean, and he will take this win. And that is exactly what Mikau needed.
He's got in DRS range too. Oh, Revo's AI? Now he's not. Revo goes really defensive.
Revo has to try and make 3 seconds on Mikau by now and the end of this race, and that's probably not going to happen. I can almost...
With 14% ERS, he's used it all.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you Mikau is going to stay on the back of that Renault like an absolute hawk. All he has to do is stay within that 3-second gap, and Mikau will take this win, and if he does, That is a great story there for the Haas driver. Sorry, back to Ruse. If he's... yeah, so he was actually invited to the Formula 1 2020 esports draft this year. However, of course, the coronavirus decided to put an end to life as we know it. So that won't be going forward. But he definitely has the skill to be up there with those drivers and was going to have a chance to show off that skill. But unfortunately, that's been pushed. But I'm sure that when the next event pops up, he'll be there, ready to show what he's got to the world. As Mikau is now dropping back, he can't afford to do that.
His DRS is... Has Mikau got a DRS failure?
That would be the worst. That would be the worst. The
He
DRS...
was in DRS. It was flashing.
Yep, the DRS option was there, but the wing was not down. Or open, I should say. He only needs to hold on for another 2 laps. You can bet Revo is trying to push this car as hard as he can.
Oh, he is.
To
He's
make
down,
up...
He's down in the single digits for his ERS.
And I mean, look, it's working. It's now down to 1.3. I tell you what, if Revo makes 3-second gap by now to the end of this race, god damn. Absolutely goddamn. He's still setting fastest laps every single time he comes around the circuit. Look at that.
Mikau's chasing his maiden win too.
Mikau is up to 1.6 seconds now. Those medium tyres are really pushing the limit. And I think Revo knows that. He only needs to hang on for about a lap and a half.
He's down to 5% ERS now.
The gap is 1.7. Oh no. It's actually happening. The gap is now 1.8. 3 seconds is the magic number. As Jacob Meister looks to make a move on Apollo, and he will. T-Mac does the same to Nut. Oh my god, the time's already at 2.1 seconds. Oh, can Mikau hold on? It's not looking good. 2.3 now the gap. As Revo sets yet another fastest lap.
Oh, 5/10 in 1 lap.
5/10 in 1 lap. As it stands, Revo's about to pull a magnificent win to overcome that penalty. Oh, come on, Mikau. Oh, it's almost hopeless. 2.7 now, the time, and it just keeps climbing. Oh, it was a car off the track there. Sector 2 yellow flag. And Mikau's pushing everything he can, but he's got no ERS left in that tank.
Neither does Revo. They're both pushing hard.
All
Revo
right,
with
so
a massive lockup.
Revo's bolted out. It's 2.6 now in the time. Mikau might have this. It's going to come down to almost everything. They're coming through the last sector now.
2.7.
Revo has to try and find 3 tenths.
2.8.
2 tenths. Can he find 2 tenths by the end of this line?
2.9.
Or does Mikau hold on? It's up to 2.97. It's at the 3 second mark. Can Mikau bring it back? Or does Revo take this home? Oh my god, Revo did it! Oh my god! Oh, wow! Wow! Come on! Alright!
That maiden win for Mikau still remains so elusive.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the German Grand Prix. Revo will take the win, nudging out a 3.2 second gap right at the end to hold on. Oh my god, man. What a drive. And Mikau too, man. Congratulations. I cannot... You tried so hard to hold on at the end there. I was hoping it'd be just under. But no. Unfortunately, those medium tyres could not hold on. And he's outside that window by 2/10.
Tense.
Oh my god. That
was
so unlucky.
In the final 2 corners too.
What a drive. What a drive. And that's a good question, Ali. Did that DRS, not opening that DRS wing, did that cost the 2/10?
It might have, because he lost quite a bit of time without that DRS.
Oh, man. Absolutely down to the wire here in Germany. What a race. And what a drive from Revo to take that win. For sure, I thought when he hit that penalty, that was it. But no, he just sort of digs down and goes, oh, okay, I'm just going to go 3 seconds faster. No problem. Okay, so that is the race done, and Revo will take the win. Mikau, very, very close second, but second nonetheless. Potty with a great drive, puts himself into third and takes the last place on the podium. Seb in fourth, Bandcamp fifth, Jacob Meister sixth, Apollo Pepsi in seventh combined in eighth. So that'll be decent points for the McLaren team. Flyboy in ninth, and Geordie will take the last spot of points. They're in 10th. Great job from everyone. Unfortunate for Smitty, who did DNF. But I have to admit, reigning race and 1 DNF, that's pretty good.
Okay, so Mikau's DRS didn't fail. It was just a timing glitch for us.
Oh, okay.
It was a 1.019 gap.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. And that's it. And that's all it took. God damn. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that at home. I know we have. Stick around. Tier 2 is just around the corner. But from us, that'll be it. As usual, I'm Kuno Zero. This has been Red Panda. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Cheers, guys.